Oh, hello, welcome. Oh, hello, welcome to Fishy Friday. Fishy Friday, Fishy Friday, Fishy Friday. Okay, I'm excited. I took my meds today. I forgot to take them yesterday, and now I took them, and now I feel crazy. Not crazy. Crazy in a good way. As in I have dopamine. As in I think I have a bit too much dopamine at the moment. But that's fine. I was very silly today and decided to do some singing stuff before I started stream. So my voice has already been a bit used up. But hopefully it's okay. I just popped a cough drop in. I still have it. I don't know if you can hear it. I still have it in my face. Um but that does also mean that my voice is warmed up. So, we might actually do pretty good today. We might do pretty good today. Who knows? Who knows? We're crazy. I'm sorry. I wanted to spare dopamine today. Spare dopamine. Yeah. We're reading the Disabled Tyrant's Beloved Pet Fish again. Yippee! 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 And he's finally pregnant. He's finally pregnant. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm so excited to read this book. I love it so much. Oh my god. Okay. See, I don't know how many chapters I'm gonna get through today. But I want to get through. I want to get through 4. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. You guys, we might see babies in the next couple chapters already. Like, we might get a time skip. I don't know. I don't know. It's so silly. It's so silly. Sorry, I'm looking at the illustrations. Alright, I'm gonna spit this out. Because I'm done with it. And I already have tea. Hello, there I am. I already have tea. I have some good old chamomile tea today. Pretty neutral. Pretty neutral stuff. I might be a little bit chiller in the next couple minutes due to the chamomile. The soothing effects of the chamomile. Yeah, sorry, I'm moving about and doing all these things. That's why I keep freezing up. Yeah! Let's get started. We are on chapter 83. Chapter 83. Page 71. See how all of these chapters are exactly 10 pages? That's crazy and it's so satisfying. We keep ending on like a 50, 60, 70. I love that. Also, Happy New Year! Yippee! Happy New Year! First stream of the year! Oh! Actually, I'll talk about this later. We'll talk about it in the break. But yeah, Happy New Year! Hope you're doing good. Alright. Let me stretch my neck a little bit, because I've been sitting for a while. Okay, let's get started. Chapter 83. The Fate of a Fish. Sorry. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. It's just nonsense in the first sentence. Ooh. Leo was unhappy and didn't want to move, but it wasn't because of his skewering anymore. His fish form really was fast at recovering, but before long, the dull pain he had felt had abated quite a lot, and he could now swim around freely. His true reason for languishing was because he couldn't accept his fate of giving birth. And he had to do it as a fish! He'd seen fish give birth before transmigrating. Was he going to lay a bunch of eggs? Sob. It was a little too scary. He was a boy who had just lost his virginity. He hadn't even lost it many times yet, and he already had to give birth? God, no. The system had scammed him way too hard. The fish was down in the dumps, his spirits low. He was so put off by the specter of pregnancy that he didn't seem at all like a coy little fish who had just had his first time. It's so silly. Anyway. Prince Jing could sense this fish's dejection and put aside his work to spend time with him. As soon as the fish made any sort of movement, Prince Jing was at his beck and call. Eating the red fish food Prince Jing gave him, the tiny bit of resentment Liu felt towards him disappeared. Never mind. It's not like Prince Jing knew that he would get pregnant. He couldn't have possibly predicted that himself, so how could he blame the prince? I'm going to adjust myself a little bit. Sorry, I'm moving the mic. Okay. We're good. Prince Jing had always respected him and kept himself in check. Between the two of them, Liu had been the one who desperately wanted to do it. Prince Jing was just giving him what he wanted. If it wasn't for the sudden pregnancy, they'd both be doing great. He was avoiding Prince Jing, but the prince still took such good care of him. Liu felt a little guilty. The system was so cold. Only his boyfriend's embrace was warm. The fish who had been avoiding Prince Jing for less than a second started warming up to him again. Prince Jing didn't know what the fish was thinking. He tried to rub him a bit. While Liu enjoyed the attention, he was also unconsciously protective of his belly. Sob. It was just because he was afraid his boyfriend would notice what had happened. In order to please the fish as well as show his happiness, Prince Jing had ordered a new stone rocking chair and placed it in the tank. As soon as Liu saw there was a new toy, he couldn't contain his fishy instincts, and he immediately went to rock on it for a while. Soon, though, he realized something wasn't right. No, he shouldn't be playing. Liu hurriedly swam away from the rocking chair. A pregnant fish couldn't do such vigorous activities, right? Stupid idiot. He knew almost nothing about human pregnancies. He knew even less when it came to fish. What was he going to do? He wanted to rub his tummy, but his fins weren't long enough. It wasn't fair. Should he tell Prince Jing? But being a carp spirit was already absurd on its own. Would Prince Jing accept his sudden pregnancy? What was he pregnant with? He didn't know. How long would he be pregnant? He also didn't know. He couldn't even produce any evidence. Would Prince Jing believe him? Would he think he was joking again? Why had he said he was pregnant before? Did he have nothing better to do? That's true. He did do that. Oh, I forgot about that. It seemed that when the boy cried wolf too much, he really would suffer the consequences. Perhaps he should wait until his tummy grew larger. Liu rolled around, frustrated. He couldn't make a decision. He considered many options, but not once did he consider getting rid of the life inside of him. Liu knew almost nothing about pregnancies, but he knew at least one thing. This was a little life that he and his beloved created together. Although he hated that the system had scammed him, he just couldn't muster any hatred toward that little life. If they were blameless, then what about this life? Liu sighed. His heart softened so much whenever he thought about his future child. He was probably going to have to keep it. When he was able to transform again, Liu didn't rush to turn into a human to get intimate with his boyfriend. His fish belly was a little bloated. He didn't know if it was because he'd eaten too much or because he was pregnant. He was worried that if he turned into a human, his belly would be huge. But if he didn't transform, Prince Jing would be confused. They had just gone through the They had just gone through a momentous, once-in-a-lifetime occasion, and Prince Jing was expecting kissing, cuddling, and hugs, but he received nothing. The carp spirit who had sworn an oath to him didn't even want to speak to him. Sorry. I don't have any more allergy pills, so I'm extra sneezy. It is winter though, so it's not as bad as it would be in spring. But it still exists. Ooh. Okay. We did. Prince Jing didn't even. Nope. Okay. Prince Jing didn't want to accept that he was being. Did I skip something? No, I didn't. Okay, sorry. Prince Jing didn't want to accept that he was being rejected after having his essence absorbed for the very first time. Was it a skill issue? Skill issue is crazy in this book. Oh my god. Okay. But apart from not transforming, the fish seemed fine. He still ate and slept, and Prince Jing couldn't see anything wrong. Turning the page. If his fish refused to transform, there was nothing he could do about it. He could only stay silent by the fish's side until he changed his mind. Again and again, Liu felt like Prince Jing was trying to suck his soul out with his eyes. He missed his deeply affectionate boyfriend. Sob, sob, sob. He had a baby in his belly now, so he didn't dare. Leo pretended not to notice for a few days, but at last it was too much. He couldn't do it anymore. When he found the right time, he transformed. Once he transformed, he didn't rush to get dressed. First, he looked down at his stomach. Still flat. He patted it, unconvinced, but it continued to be flat. Thank goodness. He really had been worried that after he had transformed into a human, he would have a huge pregnant stomach. Prince Jing had been keeping watch over him the entire time, but he had left for a little bit just now. When he came back, he suddenly ran into Xiao Yu in his human form, staring at his belly. Why wouldn't he see him? What has he been hiding? Prince Jing walked over to Liu quietly, with infinite questions in his heart. Oi. Sorry. Ooh, yeah. My voice is very silly today. Where was I? But he was afraid of scaring Xiao Yu. As he hesitated, Liu finished examining his stomach, and suddenly spotted the person behind him. Liu was easily caught and found himself pushed up against a folding screen, his lips trapped against Prince Jing's. Prince Jing wasn't mad at him, but he felt the need to assert his dominance. Okay, guy. Liu had missed him deeply. Although they were together every day, it was different when he was a fish. Now that he had tasted ultimate joy, peaceful coexistence seemed to be missing a little something. Surrounded by warmth, Liu immediately let his guard down. As Prince Jing lavished him with affection, Liu thought vaguely, it'd be fine if it was just a few kisses, right? He knew how Prince Jing had been these last few days. He'd been able to feel his unease. He wanted to respond just as enthusiastically. He didn't want he didn't want the prince to think that there was any chance he disliked any of it. In the afterglow, Liu, whose brain was finally returning to him, felt a wash of belated regret. Another one and done. It was so over. He could control his human transformation, but he couldn't control the passion he felt towards Prince Jing. If this kind of thing happened once, then it would happen again and again and again. Besides, his boyfriend had just fallen in love. He was full of energy and drive. It was completely normal for him to want to absorb essence at the drop of a hat. Oh boy. If Liu was pregnant after this, he'd just have to accept it. He couldn't get pregnant every time, right? Since this had to do with his future happiness and possible children, Liu felt obligated to talk to the system. The system said, after one and done is activated, it will disappear. the user's fertility rate will return to normal. That was better. He had just gotten unlucky the first time and had to get pregnant. Actually, this wasn't better. He didn't want. He didn't even want children. Why was the system so persistent about this? In response, the system showed Liu a vision. In the vision, Prince Jing was a lot older. He was wearing Emperor's robes, sitting all alone on the throne. What was this? Liu's heart jumped inside his chest. He didn't like this feeling. The system didn't explain anything. Continuing to watch, Liu saw Chu Yanyu walk out wearing a set of imperial robes. Huh? Prince Jing had stopped paying Chu Yanyu any attention a long time ago. Why would he... Wait. A thought flashed in Liu's mind. Why did it seem like Prince Jing and Chu Yanyu had aged several years? This was a middle-aged Prince Jing and Chu Yanyu. It was... Liu immediately realized that this must be the end of the original book, when Prince Jing was around 40 years old. Chu Yanyu, whose life was nearly half over, had finally started falling for Prince Jing. Liu watched as Imperial Noble Consort Chu talked cheerfully by himself, but Prince Jing remained expressionless on the throne. The original book hadn't gone into detail about the end of their relationship, but the system had showed him. In the end, Prince Jing no longer cared. Sorry, we're fine. Sorry. I was just checking my mic things because there were people here and I seeing if it was tampered with. It's not. It's fine. We're fine. I get paranoid. Where was I? Where was I? In the end, Prince Jing no longer cared for Chu Yanyu and had become a complete cold-hearted tyrant. Although he knew his boyfriend wouldn't meet the same end, Liu couldn't help the pang in his heart. But why had the system shown him this? The scene changed. Liu saw a few young princes bowing in greeting to the Prince Jing wearing Emperor's robes. Liu was shocked. So Prince Jing had children in the original book. After all, the person Prince Jing was willing to give up having children for had no qualms with acquiring concubines for him to solve the issue. Realizing that Chu Yanyu wasn't worth his affection, Prince Jing had grown to no longer love him. He was just completing his duty as emperor. What the hell? This poor guy. The tyrant possesses the protagonist halo, which means he must have children, the system said. But because of the user, he will be prevented from having them unless the user is the one to provide them. This was even more shocking than when he found out he was pregnant. It was all because of him? The system spoke vaguely, so it took Liu a moment to understand. Was the system saying Prince Jing was ready to give up on children because of him? Honestly, he had known the answer to the question for a while. When he had pretended to be pregnant, Prince Jing was delighted. But after he found out Liu was just pretending, my bad, I accidentally swallowed some spit. Wow. My lungs are filled with fluid. That's not where it goes. That's not where it goes. Alright, I'm trying to get back on track here. Sorry, choking break. Choking break. We all need a choking break every once in a while. Where was I? Prince Jing was delighted, but after he found out Liu was just pretending, while Prince Jing was disappointed, he had never blamed him. Children and heirs were very important in ancient times. It wasn't something to joke about, but Prince Jing held him in higher regard than the promise of heirs, and had agreed to never take on any concubines. Then, what about Liu? Liu admitted that he was moved by Prince Jing's actions, but regardless, he was still afraid of giving birth. He lowered his head. Let me think about it. He almost exited out of the system, but the vision from the original story reminded him that he hadn't claimed the reward for the last quest. It was, as usual, another one of Prince Jing's secrets. He might as well claim it. Looking at the four options, he wanted to know exactly how important he was to Prince Jing, so for the first time he chose the option that involved himself. He saw the scene where he'd helped Prince Jing clean his eyes at Jingtai Hall. Huh? Liu couldn't figure out why he was being shown this until he saw Prince Jing noticing a fish scale on the fabric he had dropped. Prince Jing asked Ye Qinghuan if he'd taken care of a Yao before. Holy shit, how did I miss something so important? Prince Jing had known since then. Understanding dawned on him. Details that he thought were odd before suddenly made sense. Prince Jing always gave him gifts that involved fish. Liu had assumed it was just because he had fish in his name, but it was actually because Prince Jing had known the entire time that he was his pet fish. He had done so much for Liu without his knowledge, helping him take care of the situation when he'd broken the crystal bottle for a moment of satisfaction, covering for himself in front of everyone so his identity would remain hidden, turning the entire manor into a fish tank. Even Liu had been jealous of Prince Jing's fish before, but it had all been for him all along. Liu's heart felt heavy. He didn't know if he wanted to laugh or cry. He thought he had done a lot, but in the end, he was the one being taken care of, the one being loved. He was moved by this love, and he already felt soft and fuzzy on the inside. But so what? System, Liu asked, sniffling. Does it hurt to give birth to a fish, as a fish? Liu exited the system, feeling refreshed. It should be in him already. Since the system said it wouldn't hurt, he'd go through with it. When he'd had no idea what was going to happen, everything felt wrong. But now that he'd thought it through and calmed down, he wanted to know what kind of children he would have. The system said that this was the beginning for these small, new lives, and the fate between him and the Tyrant. Weeks 1 and 2, his human stomach remained flat, and as a fish, there wasn't much of a change either. One day, during the 3rd week, Liu suddenly noticed that he no longer fit in the ornamental mountain. Every day when he thought there was nothing left to look at, his stomach would visibly grow a little bit more. Prince Jing felt like the fish had gotten somewhat fatter. Had he been eating too much every day? I haven't, Liu complained. Stop randomly touching my stomach! Ooh, that's the end of that chapter. That's the end of the chapter. The next chapter is called Fishy Pregnancy. And again, it ends on an 80. That is so satisfying. I love these exact 10 pages. Chapters. The next one ends on a 92. Wait, what? Okay, the next one doesn't actually end on a 100. Okay. It's just so satisfying. Gay! I'll tell you what's gay. This book. I want the fish suck. You miss the fish suck every single time. Oh boy. Fishy pregnancy. Oh boy. That is a thing to say, alright. That is a thing to say. Holy shit. You're crazy. There's a ringing. Oh, you know what? I know what it is. It's so annoying. Anyway, chapter 84. Fishy pregnancy. Okay. Okay, are we ready for pregnancy? Okay. No matter what, I wasn't ready. No matter whether it was happening to a fish or a human, male pregnancy was completely absurd. Is it though? Is it though? Liu had even specifically clarified before that he couldn't get pregnant. He'd inadvertently shot himself in the foot. It was too humiliating. He hadn't figured out how he was going to tell Prince Jing, but he assumed fish pregnancies lasted approximately 9 months, just like humans. At the very least, it would definitely be a few months away. He didn't need to rush and could take his time coming up with a plan. That is not true. Fishy pregnancies do not last months. They last like weeks, if at all. Actually, I guess it depends on the fish, but... How long do koi... You know what? We'll find out. I'll read one more paragraph and we'll find out. In human form, his stomach started to change ever so slightly. Compared to his fish form, it wasn't obvious, but he didn't like to use jade belts, and always wore a length of silk or string of beads tied casually around his waist. It was fine even if he kept his robes a little looser. But Liu was worried Prince Jing would notice eventually, so he asked Prince Jing for maternity leave, saying he needed to focus on his cultivation for a few months and couldn't turn back into a human. Prince Jing stared at him questioningly. He could tell this fish was hiding something, but Liu made up some excuse and managed to avoid answering. Just tell him! He should know! Prince Jing felt like after they'd become one, there still always seemed to be something separating them. But no matter how much he thought about it, he couldn't figure out what it was. He had always spoiled the fish. If the fish wanted to focus on his cultivation, then Prince Jing would not deny him. He wasn't afraid of spending time apart temporarily, but he was afraid that when the carp spirit finished going through his tribulation, he would leave. Prince Jing had worried about this ever since Liu had come clean about his identity, and now, due to his need to hide his stomach, Liu was constantly avoiding him. Unknowingly, he had added to Prince Jing's fears. Xiao Yu must be hiding something that he didn't want him to know, Prince Jing thought. In the past, he used to pretend he'd never seen through the fish, always silently protecting him. So there was no reason for that to change. As long as the fish stayed in the tank by his side, somewhere he could see him every day, Prince Jing could accept it. In the 4th week of his fish pregnancy, Liu felt his entire body growing sluggish. He didn't want to move at all. He told Prince Jing he'd be cultivating, and occasionally he'd make a couple of moves to keep up the appearances. But he got tired quickly when he swam, and using his brain was even more exhausting. Maybe he should just lay down and try again tomorrow. Liu thought this every time he was wrapped in his leaf blanket, just before falling asleep. But each day he woke, he still felt the same. There was nothing wrong aside from that. One night, just as he was resigning himself to remaining in this state for several more months... Not gonna be more months! Fish pregnancies are very short! Liu suddenly awoke to his stomach feeling a little heavy and bloated. Liu got up in a hurry and glanced at his stomach. The view shocked him deeply. His stomach had shrunk. No way! He hurriedly looked below the rock bed, but the bottom of the fish tank hadn't changed. He searched all the corners and still couldn't find anything. Then he remembered. Nudging away the gold-embroidered blanket on the silver rock bed, he saw 4 round, glowing white beads, in quotes, each around the size of a thumb. He's babies! He has babies! Oh my god, this also makes absolutely no sense. Why would he have eggs when he's already inseminated? I don't understand. Maybe it's more like a shark. It's probably more like a shark. Wait, no, because some shark give birth to like wait, I actually don't remember. Most sharks give birth to live young, right? But some sharks have like pouches. Actual egg sac things. Right? Am I right or wrong about that? I'm pretty sure I'm right about that. Do sharks give birth to live young? No. Now, oh boy. Somebody look that up for me and come back to come back with answers. I'm busy. La 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 la. He couldn't have possibly laid these, right? No, he must have. Otherwise, why did his stomach shrink so much? The fish scamming system had finally decided not to scam him for once. He hadn't expected it to be this easy. Laying eggs as fish was actually pretty painless. It only took 4 weeks, and it happened while he was asleep. These things that looked like beads were probably roe. Liu no longer felt sleepy or lazy. He swam over carefully and poked one egg gently with a fin, then stared closely at it. Of course there was nothing to see. He still hadn't thought about how to tell Prince Jing, and now he'd already given birth. He'd laid not 1, but 4 eggs. That was even more awkward. Could Prince Jing accept that his kids were 4 small orbs? This was going to be difficult. He might even float away when he wasn't looking. Then again, laying eggs was what fish did. The tiny merman, or tiny human, that Liu had originally been hoping for, was impossible. But although fish eggs were a little disappointing, they were still his and Prince Jing's children. Liu didn't mind. How was he going to take care of them now that he'd laid them, though? Time to inquire the system. Liu didn't know what to do. After circling his egg children a couple of times... After circling his egg children... After circling his egg children a couple of times... Such a stupid sentence. Oh my god. After circling his egg children a couple of times, he suddenly remembered that he had the system. Liu wrapped the 4 eggs snugly back in the blanket and entered the system. The system was already prepared with a notification. Congratulations, user, for completing the Spread Your Seeds quest. The main quest line, Revitalize the Family, is now finished. Please accept your reward. Liu didn't have time to celebrate completing other quest lines. He didn't even have time to look at the reward. He hurriedly asked, "Oh, what do I do with the fish eggs?" Spread your seeds. That's the quest title. That's what it's called. I love this book so much. Oh my god. The side quest, Growing Up, has been unlocked, the system told him. Please select what you'd like to proceed. Whether you'd like to proceed. The quest clearly had to do with child rearing. Of course he had to start it. Besides, the quest made it sound like the fish eggs could grow into humans. That would be the best case scenario. The fish eggs will hatch after 4 to 5 days of incubation. Please protect them. After you have fed them for 9 months, they can complete their own quests and become human. Seriously? Why did the little Xiaoyus have to... He called them little Xiaoyus. So cute. Seriously, why did the little Xiaoyus have to do quests too? Were the fish born from the system fish also system fish? Liu was almost impressed. The fish scamming system sure was unbelievable, going so far as setting something like this up. It made him pretty worried, though, when he thought about the quests he'd completed. The little Xiaoyus were so tiny, and they had to worry about quests like he did. The system could read Liu's thoughts and helpfully added, User, don't worry. They will be very ordinary, simple tasks. They are usually completed without any issue. Fine, I'll trust you for now. He had no other choice. After learning about taking care of the eggs and young hatchlings, Liu exited the system and stealthily peered around. No one had noticed that he'd secretly laid 4 round fish eggs. Incubating them over the next 4 days should be easy enough. Ugh. Wait, sorry. Okay. The system had told him he had to choose somewhere quiet to incubate the eggs. The warmer the better. It hadn't told him he had to incubate them himself, but Liu had seen birds do that. They usually sat on their eggs, keeping them warm with their feathers. Liu thought that made sense, and fish eggs were probably similar. He didn't have feathers, but he did have scales, so he decided to do the same. Well, I mean, not exactly, but okay. He arranged the 4 round eggs into a small circle, laying on top of them to cover them completely, then draped the blanket over himself. It should be very warm. From a distance, you couldn't even tell he was incubating eggs. Prince Jing never let him go hungry, so he didn't ever have to worry about food. If someone came to change the water, he'd temporarily hide the eggs in the cave of the ornamental mountain. 4 days passed just like that. It was all quite easy. When these round little balls became children, he wouldn't be able to... What is going on? He wouldn't be able to keep it a secret anymore. It would be easier to explain them as well. It would be easier to explain then as well. Oi, 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 oi. My face. My face. It's going downhill. We're fine. He could just show Prince Jing directly that he'd given birth to 4 kids, and how many of them were girls or boys, instead of confusing him trying to guess at what exactly was in his fish stomach. Liu had never been so focused, concentrating entirely on his eggs. Gradually, he forgot about everything around him. Prince Jing noticed that Xiao Yu hadn't been moving much lately. Xiao Yu had warned him ahead of time, so he hadn't asked anyone to come take a look, in case he disturbed Xiao Yu. Xiao Yu still swam a little bit every day at first, but recently he'd been mostly just sleeping and eating. His stomach seemed to have grown a bit bigger. Perhaps he was just busy cultivating. He didn't move much. Nope, perhaps because he was busy cultivating, he didn't move much. Prince Jing didn't consider any other possibilities, nor could he ask about the fish's cultivation. He just made sure to pay particular attention to Xiao Yu. It was fine if he didn't want to move much, but the fish seemed to get worse. He was always wrapped in a blanket and wouldn't get off his bed. He wouldn't even move when it was time to eat, only eating the few pieces that drifted to the silver rock bed. Prince Jing was incredibly worried. Desperate times, he decided, called for desperate measures. Prince Jing lifted the blanket, wanting to take the fish out and take a good look, and in doing so, startled Liu, who was busy incubating his eggs. What was going on? Liu desperately held onto the silver rock bed with his fins, making it clear that he did not want to leave this bed. Prince Jing paused. The fish was clearly unhappy, so he had to change tactics. He couldn't just pull him out by force. Just then, Wang Ji arrived with something to report. Prince Jing turned to listen, and Liu took the chance to grab each of the round eggs with his mouth and hide them in the cave. Wang Ji didn't stay for long. When Prince Jing turned back around, he saw that the fish who refused to leave his bed just a second ago had now slid off the bed and was waiting obediently by his hand. Prince Jing smiled, petting the fish's head. Liu rubbed his mouth against his palm. Prince Jing remembered that the fish had always really liked to take walks. Afraid that he was bored in the tank, Prince Jing took out the crystal bottle, ready to take Xiao Yu out for a change of scenery. Oh no! Liu liked being alone together, but he was still incubating his eggs! What if he couldn't get back soon? What if they decided to go for another round? What about his fish babies? Liu was torn between his husband and his children. Making up his mind, he thought, Your Highness, I'm sorry. In the past, Liu had always jumped into the bottle himself. This time, he refused to do it. Prince Jing brought the fish to the mouth of the bottle. but Liu turned around with a swish of his tail and fell back into the tank. He paddled his fins and blew some bubbles. "Your Highness, go on a walk for me." Go on a walk for me. He is so silly. Prince Jing didn't know what to do with this fish. He pet Xiaoyu fondly. If he didn't want to go this time, there was always next time. Now that Prince Jing was stationed here at the western border, he was in charge of all the military and political business. Yeah, I read that right. Soon, he had something he needed to take care of and left. Liu let out a sigh of relief. Once he was sure Prince Jing had left and he could no longer hear any footsteps, he took the eggs out of the cave again. It was too much hassle to carry each egg by itself, so Liu came up with an easier way. He grabbed one with his mouth and put the other 3 on his back. Like that, he swam slowly back to the silver rock bed. He'd only just reached the bed when Prince Jing returned. He stood before the fish tank, silently. Liu was shocked at his sudden reappearance. Was this a surprise attack? Liu rushed to cover the eggs with a blanket, but forgot there was still one in his mouth. Prince Jing couldn't see what was hidden under the blanket, but when the fish opened his mouth, something rolled out, and he managed to get a good look at it. This was... Prince Jing didn't recognize what Xiaoyu was hiding, but his expression didn't show it. Liu saw that Prince Jing was completely calm and assumed he had figured it out. Idiot! God, he's so stupid! Now he had no choice but to come clean. Oh, Liu transformed, then moved the blanket away. Prince Jing saw the 3 other brown things. Face red, Liu said, "Your Highness, there are 4 fish eggs in total." The first thing Prince Jing registered from Liu's words were that these were fish eggs. He tried to figure out how fish eggs had appeared in his fish tank. Liu looked at him nervously. If I tell you I laid them," he said tentatively, "would you believe me?" Prince Jing felt his eyebrow twitch as he looked at Liu. "Your Highness, these are the eggs I laid," Liu repeated shyly. "I'm sorry I told you I couldn't have children before. I only found out recently that I'm a fish that can give birth." Prince Jing felt like his entire world had exploded in a flash of lightning. Slowly, carefully, he contemplated Liu's words. So, Xiaoyu could give birth. So Xiaoyu had laid 4 eggs. So, he knew that fish eggs became the children of fish, which meant this was... Prince Jing suddenly felt dizzy. These were his and Xiaoyu's children. Looking at Prince Jing's expression, Liu could see this information was a huge shock even to someone as calm as Prince Jing. Liu figured since he already had to tell Prince Jing all this, he might as well explain the rest of it too. He shakily informed him of his plan to raise the fish babies. Apparently, their children had to be incubated. That's what Xiaoyu had been hiding from him. Prince Jing's gaze was warm as he looked at Xiaoyu, who was standing before him. "I won't let you be too tired. Let me help," he said with a determined gaze that left no room for argument. And that's the end of that chapter. That was so silly. They are so silly. This is insane. Okay. The next chapter is called The Fish and His Young. But for now, we will take a quick break to fill up on more tea. I actually have quite a bit left, but that's fine. And I need to go feed the dogs real quick. But we will be back with more fish in just a moment. Bye. I'm stretching, sorry. Yeah. Okay, I'll be right back. Stay right there. Oh, what the hell happened? Okay, no, we're fine. Okay, BRB. Okay, hello, we are back. We are back. We are back indeed. Yippee, 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 yippee. Oh boy, it is cold outside. It is so cold. It is so winter now. It's so cold outside. That's crazy. Alright. I gotta take a stretch break. Could I have done this while I was on break? Yeah, but I was doing other things, so fuck you. Alright. By the way, we hit 300 followers by the end of the year. Yeah. Yeah, we did that. Yeah! Yeah! That means karaoke stream is so on. Karaoke stream is so on. I have to figure out time to schedule it, but it should be okay. We should be fine, as long as I'm not too loud. Let's see. I'll probably do that next week. But yeah. Like on a weekend. Next week on a weekend. Probably. Oh my god. How you doing, guys? I'm so sleepy because of this chamomile tea. Chamomile tea makes me so sleepy. But I thought it'd be good for today because I just had so much excess energy, so it's like not really. It won't make me lethargic. It'll just make me at like a neutral state. Alright. For the next chapter, it's called The Fish and His Young. Chapter 85. What are you doing again? Oops. Okay. Here we go. Leo could tell Prince Jing wanted to help. He laughed. What can you help me with, Your Highness? He teased him. It's actually not hard. I can do it myself. He'd already done the hardest, most unbelievable part, giving birth. Now he just had to quietly incubate the eggs. Easy. Prince Jing pursed his lips before shaking his head lightly. He asked Liu to repeat the instructions, then reached into the water with one hand to hold the eggs. They were so tiny, an adult could easily fit all four in the palm of their hand. Prince Jing maintained this position, unmoving. After a while, he very carefully switched to the other hand, keeping the eggs underwater. When he took his hand out, it had already gone a little pale from soaking in the water too long. He wrapped it in a towel, then switched to the other hand. Rinse and repeat. Shit, I forgot to run an ad while I was gone. Fucking bitch. Okay, well, I'll do that right now. Sorry. I always forget to do that. We're gonna have a little ad break because it's about to run. So, I'm just gonna do that manually right now. Okay, see you on the other side. And then it says ad starting in a minute. Oh, well, no, ad in progress. Okay, never mind. It's just you and me, Catholic, now. It's just you and me. Oh boy. So, yippee. Okay, 3, 1, go! Yay! Welcome back! That was so fast, wasn't it? That was so fast. Okay, we're gonna continue. No league? What are you saying, no league? What does that even mean? Oh, no league? Because the 300. Listen, I will cry actually if I play League. I know I said I do that, but like, I think that's bad for my mental health. Okay, anyway, we're reading. La, 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 la. Did I read that yet? He wrapped it in a towel, then switched to the other hand. rinse and repeat. Liu didn't understand what he was doing at first, but after Prince Jing had repeated the action several times, Liu let out a soft exclamation. He got it. Prince Jing was using the warmth from his palms to help warm the eggs. Not only was he willing to believe everything he said, he was even willing to help him incubate the eggs. How could there be such a caring person in the world? Liu was overwhelmed by emotion. Prince Jing smiled at him, not at all angry or upset, and glanced at the empty chair next to him. You're tired. Rest. Your Highness! Liu threw himself forward, but he didn't sit down in the chair. Instead, he landed on Prince Jing's back and latched onto him tightly. Prince Jing was knocked forward slightly by the force and rushed to protect the eggs in his hand. He wanted to hold Liu with his other hand, but it hadn't quite warmed up yet and was still a little cold. Prince Jing always carried himself with calm confidence, but he was starting to get flustered. Your Highness, it's okay. You're the best. Liu pressed his face against Prince Jing's broad back and rubbed against it comfortably, wiping away the slight moisture gathered at the corners of his eyes. Ever since he found out he was pregnant, then laid the eggs and started incubating them, he'd endured a lot of fear and misery. But when he saw the joyous smile blooming on Prince Jing's face, Liu felt himself smile as well. He suddenly felt like none of this was a big deal. No matter if he was a human or a carp spirit, whether or not he could have children, whatever he gave birth to, Prince Jing always believed him. He was Liu's safe harbor. Why are they so sappy? Liu ignored the empty chair and squeezed into Prince Jing's lap instead. Prince Jing let him sit right down, giving him a kiss. Then he wrapped an arm around him, while keeping a hand cupped around the fish eggs. Prince Jing once again encouraged Liu to sleep on his shoulder, with a look that said, "Rest." Your Highness, I'm not tired, really, Liu hurried to reply. He hadn't even been incubating the eggs for 2 hours total, and he'd been lying down on the bed that whole time. He wasn't tired at all. Besides, he was already sitting in Prince Jing's lap. If he leaned back onto his shoulders, Prince Jing would be the one who'd get tired. But no matter how much he objected, Prince Jing insisted that he lean against him. In the end, Liu had to give in. He leaned against Prince Jing, watching as he incubated the eggs. When he... sorry, something's going on with my body. Weird stuff. Okay. In the end, Liu had... I already read that. When he changed hands, Liu would help him wipe his hands dry, then hug that hand to his chest to warm it up. Oh, I hate them. Oh, I hate them so much. The fish eggs had to be incubated for 4 days, so Prince Jing watched over them the entire time. If any urgent business came up, he'd ask the servants to leave it outside his door. Once they had left, he would retrieve it and do all his work with one hand on the fish eggs before putting the papers back outside. Liu had collected his reward, doubling his transformation time. Now he could maintain his human form for 4 hours! Let's go! Let's go! He could be a streamer. He had wanted to take turns with the eggs, but Prince Jing insisted he could do it alone. Liu urged him to rest, but only managed to get Prince Jing to take a brief 2-hour nap. When he woke up, he immediately went back to incubating the eggs. Oh my god. Prince Jing was so dedicated. Liu had gotten jealous of himself before. Now he felt jealous of the amount of attention Prince Jing paid to the eggs instead, which caused a lot of drama. Liu, who'd insisted he wanted to watch as the little eggs hatched, accidentally fell asleep on the 4th day. In the midst of his dreams, something seemed to be tickling his face. Liu rubbed his eyes and sat up. Prince Jing was standing right before him. He had his hands held suspiciously behind his back, with a childlike smugness all over his face. Oh! Liu froze. Then, have they finally hatched? He asked ecstatically. Prince Jing nodded, then coughed lightly. Under Liu's eager gaze, he slowly brought his hands in front of him. He uncurled his fingers, and in his palm swam 4 young fish, each an inch long. Liu yelled in excitement. Prince Jing placed the fish into his hands, letting him watch them swim around. Although he was their father, Liu could not tell the difference between the 4. The other father, however, insisted that all 4 fish looked like him. Get it together, Your Highness. How could fish look like a human? If you're going to brag about it, at least wait until they've changed into human babies. Prince Jing got out a tea towel he had prepared for Liu and put the 4 fish babies inside. Although the fish tank was a little larger... What? I read that wrong. Prince Jing got out a tea bowl he had prepared for Liu and put the 4 fish babies inside. Although the fish tank was a little larger, he was afraid he wouldn't be able to find them again if he put them inside. Liu could now cancel his transformation whenever he wanted and change back into a fish. He narrowed his eyes playfully at Prince Jing. Being a fish wasn't completely bad. In an instant, he transformed and jumped into the tea bowl. Would his children recognize him? Could they speak? Liu started swimming toward them slowly. The little babies quickly noticed and swam to meet him. They're so cute! Liu rubbed his mouth affectionately against each of them. He was still very young. If he hadn't transmigrated as a fish, he might have never had this is so difficult. He might have never had this experience or learned how to interact with baby fish. But the moment he saw his fish babies, he knew he loved them. No matter if they were fish or human, he'd do anything to protect them. I'm sick. I'm sick. This is sick. The baby fish couldn't communicate yet, and they were nearly transparent, with tiny little black dots for eyes. But they were quite lively as they swam around Liu. They were transparent, you can only see their eyes. I'm gonna kill myself. They're so cute. It feels wrong. It's so cute. I love it so much. I love this book. Oh, I'm crying. Blink away the tears. It's fine. I'm fine. Liu had gotten information from the system on how to feed the baby fish in advance. Following his instructions, Prince Jing had wrapped a boiled egg yolk in a cheesecloth, and now he shook it gently in the water, splashing a bit of soy milk in with it. 3 of the baby fish were immediately interested, fighting with each other to start eating. The last one was still swimming in circles around Liu, confused. After a gentle push from Liu, it tipped headfirst into the soy milk. The notification came from the system. Congratulations, user. You are now in team mode. Your children, the baby fish, have joined your team. I'm gonna throw up. I'm gonna throw up. Oh my god. Don't look at me. I'm fine. Baby fish. Oh my god, baby fish. Okay. This was a thing? He could lead the baby fish to complete quests? He remembered that the system had said that the one and done seal was one-time use only. In the future, his pregnancies would all be normal. But even so, he had given birth to 4 babies at once. Did that mean he'd end up having even more children later? Once the babies grew up, oh my god. Once the babies grew up, they'd also have their own children. Perhaps he could have an entire tank of grandchildren. He sure was revitalizing the family. This team might turn into a whole platoon. When other people had children, they had 1 or 2. When he had children, he had 1 or 2 tanks. Is he Mormon or? Hello, Wafuyu. Oh my god, Wafuyu, hi! It's been a while. How are you? Oh my god. Oh, thanks for the head bat, but the I don't have Mix It Up open right now. But I can feel it in spirit. It's been a while. Welcome, we are reading Fish book, and they have babies, and they're fish babies, and it's so cute, and I'm not crying, you're crying. And you're sick. I'm not sick, but I am sick because I have cavities because this book is so sugary sweet. I just have allergies. I don't have my allergy pills. I'm gonna get more. Wow! Okay, we're continuing reading. Oh. Okay. Prince Jing could afford that many fish babies, right? Now that he'd experienced it once, Liu was very used to the idea of having children. He thought it was kind of fun. Oh, sorry, burp. If he wanted more children in the future, he'd just tell Prince Jing to get busy. Not the allergies, yeah. Yeah, the allergies. It's not as bad as it could be, but it's still there. I want to keep choking on water. That's so fun. The second choke of today. It's because I'm crying, okay? It's because I'm crying. My nose is extra stuffy and I can't control anything. I'm fine. Though fish pregnancies didn't take long, it would take 9 months for the baby fish to grow into a baby human. Altogether, it wasn't much different from the gestational period of a human. The next step was for the baby fish to grow into humans. It was going to be a very important time. Prince Jing had asked someone to check, and they confirmed that all 4 fish babies were male. Male? Now that their sex was confirmed, Prince Jing decided to name them. The next generation of the royal family needed to have names that contained the radical for heart. Prince Jing chose the 4 characters Kai, Xin, Wei, and Heng. Oh, that has a footnote. Kai, Xin, Wei, and Heng all have the radical that, which means heart. Yeah, I don't think we need a footnote for that, but okay. That's fine. Liu couldn't tell the difference between the 4 at the moment, but Prince Jing could tell. He knew the order in which they hatched, which is how he decided their order. Prince Jing chose their given names, so their nicknames were up to Liu. Oh my god, he came up with a few cute ones, but then, considering he might have even more fish babies in the future, he decided to just call them, oh my god. He decided to just call them Dabao, Erbao, Sambao, and Sibao for convenience. Footnote, literally baby 1, baby 2, baby 3, and baby 4. Oh, what is wrong with this guy? These are your children! What do you mean? Oh my god, they're gonna have a complex. These nicknames were good enough while they were still baby fish. When they grew into humans, they could use the names Prince Jing decided for them. Now that their names were set and their order determined, Liu thought that would be the end of that. But Prince Jing pulled out a thick stack of papers from his sleeve and stuffed it into Liu's arms. Royal children had to start learning a lot at a young age. They were at the western border now, so the conditions weren't as good as the palace, but Prince Jing would not deprive his children of anything. As soon as they could talk, Prince Jing was planning on asking for 2 of the best teachers in the capital to come teach them. Prince Jing had thought a lot when he was incubating the eggs, and had written it all down, resulting in this stack of paper. He handed it all over to Liu to look over. Liu was taken aback. He had assumed he'd be raising their fish babies like you raised regular fish babies. He had to teach them all this? Looking at Prince Jing's warlike determination, then looking at the 4 babies fighting for the egg yolk, Liu had a flashback to his painful student days. Would the fish babies be all right with a fish dad who'd never had good grades? You don't need to put fish in every sentence, but he chooses to put fish in every single sentence. It makes it so silly. I love this book. I love it. Oh, I got tea on my book. No! 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 It's okay. It's only a tiny, tiny drop. We're fine. No, wait, there's another spot. What the fuck? What is wrong with me? What happened? Oh, it's fine. It's fine. We're fine. Where was I? Where was I? Should he tell Prince Jing that the babies couldn't be returned now that they'd already been shipped? As Liu flipped through the stacks, he came across a piece of red paper. He wondered why there was a piece of paper here that was completely different from the rest. It was incredibly eye-catching. Was there something he needed to pay special attention to? Liu took a closer look and froze. Prince Jing had written, "An eternal happy union," and stamped it with his official stamp. "Your Highness, what is this?" Liu looked at Prince Jing. Prince Jing was looking back at him too, with expectation in his eyes. His gaze was filled with so much emotion, Liu felt like he was about to be swept away. Prince Jing took out the jade figure and fish stone that he'd given Liu the day they had completed their union and placed them on the red paper. The jade figure was on the side of the stamp, but the side with the fish was empty. Liu's intuition had always been quite good. Red paper and a pair of keepsakes. This was what he thought it was, right? "Your Highness, you..." Face completely red, Liu asked excitedly, "Are you asking for my hand in marriage?" He'd always thought he had a very sensible view on marriage, but now that it was his turn to be proposed to, he couldn't control the fireworks exploding in his chest. Prince Jing's handsome face was serious. "Yes, I am." Before he hadn't given Xiao Yu an official status because he was trying to protect him, but the situation developed faster than he'd planned for. He had children now. How could he not let Xiao Yu or his children... What? He could not let Xiao Yu or his children be the target of any criticism. He had written this marriage contract before they'd even left for the western border. This was his determination as the master of the house. As for the Emperor's official approval, he would get it before the fish babies transformed. That's the end of that chapter. They're getting married after they had babies. Oh, we love a modern ship pair. I don't know. Oh, my nose is so stuffy. Sorry. You know, I'm doing actually pretty great. I think we can do one more chapter, I say, as I'm dying. Yeah, this chapter is really short. Actually, it's average, but, you know, all the chapters are short, so let's do it! Chapter 86 is called Fish School! Fish School! Yippee! Oh my god, I'm so excited. Alright, let's start. To be honest, I didn't think we'd get married so soon, Liu chuckled. Prince Jing was in a glum mood. Hang on, they forgot the space in between Jing and was. It's Prince Jing was in a glum mood. That is so weird. That looks so weird. Oh, you know what it is? It's just this line is like really spaced close together, I guess. That's the closest spaced line I've ever seen in a book. That's crazy. Prince Jing was in a glum mood. He noticed long ago that Zhao Yu had never mentioned wanting an official title. Yao didn't care about such things, but why didn't Xiao Yu want to get married even after giving birth? The unease in Prince Jing's heart increased. He looked down at the marriage contract, gripping it so hard his fingers turned white. Liu never thought about being the prince's consort, or the future empress. Oy, that was just the truth. He was still very young, so his hopes for the future was just for a happy relationship and living each day to the fullest. Ew, sorry. He hadn't spared much thought about the idea of fighting for the title or status. Besides, back where he came from, men couldn't get married to each other, so Liu didn't see anything wrong with the way things were now. But when he picked up on the prince's deflated mood, he knew he had misspoken. He grabbed the marriage certificate. Nope, he grabbed the marriage contract back and hurriedly tried to make up for his mistake. Although it's unexpected, I didn't say no. Prince Jing looked up at him with dark eyes. For some reason, Liu detected a hint of a pout. His heart quivered. Was Prince Jing really pouting at him? Your Highness, don't be like this. I agree, Liu stuttered. Prince Jing remained unmoving, seeming even more pitiful. Liu's heart was a complete mushy mess. He hurriedly wrote down his own name in the empty spot in the contract. Other than his signature, he also needed a stamp. But Liu didn't have one. He just as he was looking for an ink pad to stamp his fingerprint, Prince Jing pulled out a small square seal from his sleeve and handed it to Liu. It was made of crystal, and a small, lively golden fish was inlaid at the top. The stamp was Liu's name. Your Highness even had this prepared? Prince Jing nodded and gave the stamp to Liu. Liu immediately put the beautiful stamp to use. Then, he and Prince Jing each pressed a fingerprint down next to their stamps. The moment the fingerprints were printed onto the page, Liu's heart sped up. He thought of Ye Qinghuan and his wife, and of all the couples in the village. Just like them, he now had his own family. In that moment, he wasn't hesitant or worried for the future. He felt the faint joy of settling down. He finally understood how wonderful it was to be married to your beloved. Prince Jing looked over the wedding contract. After confirming that everything was in order, he handed it over to Liu for safekeeping. You think Liu is gonna keep things safe? They fuck so hard they're gonna get married. Real? That's exactly what happened. Granted, they did fuck in their wedding robes. I don't know what that means, but it was gonna happen either way. After the marriage of a prince was ultimately although the marriage of a prince was ultimately the emperor's decision, a handwritten contract counted on its own. This was enough to show the emperor how serious he was. Prince Jing handed Liu a note. Don't worry, I will take care of things with my father. I'm not worried, and you don't have to rush, Your Highness. He really wasn't worried. He'd signed the marriage contract, so in the future he would naturally be Prince Jing's consort, and then the Empress. He didn't doubt Prince Jing's feelings towards him, but getting the Emperor to grant an official title to Liu, someone with no background, would not be easy. But Liu was optimistic. If the Emperor didn't allow it, he could just wait until after Prince Jing ascended to the throne. Your Highness, don't force it. If it doesn't work out, then just forget about it for a while. I can wait. It's okay. He was half reassuring him, about his efforts and half reminding him that in the future he'd be allowed to do what he wanted. But Prince Jing shook his head. He'd always known Xiao Yu didn't care about all that. He would care in Xiao Yu's place. I have a plan. Prince Jing didn't reveal anything further. Since he said so, Liu was filled with confidence and eagerly awaited his results. Now that Liu had signed the contract, Prince Jing asked Wang Ji to prepare for the wedding. It seemed a little rushed to drink their wedding wine the one time when they consummated. So Prince Jing wanted to give Liu an official wedding. He had already written his letter to the emperor to ask for his blessing, which was rushing to the capital at this very moment. Meanwhile, he was fervently preparing his plan. He was sure that by the time he received the emperor's response, he would be ready. Prince Jing would take care of everything. All Liu had to do was wait and focus on a more important mission: raising the fish babies. Prince Jing could help him incubate the eggs, but he could not help him educate the fish babies. As the only fish parent, he was the only one who could try to communicate with the little ones. After spending 2 whole days with the fish babies, Liu finally figured out who was who. Dabao's tail was a little longer. Erbao's stomach was very round even when he didn't eat. Sanbao was the first to grow unusually colored scales, and Sibao was usually the most confused baby. That's so cute. One of them is just constantly confused. Oh, that's me. If the 4 babies were gathered together to eat, then the last one to arrive would definitely be Sibao. This is teaching me how to count in Chinese. Liu started trying to talk to them as well as feed them. Aside from Sibao, the other babies were all quite smart. Sorry. Aside from this one guy. Very quickly, they learned how to say eat and swim. When Liu said eat, they would gather together and wait for the food. When he said swim, they would follow behind Liu. Liu worried that as they swam, they would get lost, so he shook his tail gently in front of Dabao, then made a biting motion. The smart Dabao immediately bit down on his tail fin. Liu then taught Erbao to bite onto Dabao's fin, and so on and so forth. The fish babies formed a line so no one would get lost. Stop this. So stupid and so cute. 3 of the 4 babies very quickly formed a string with their dad. Only Sibao was still confused. Liu noticed that this baby was always a little slow to react, but he didn't say anything about it. He just nudged Sibao gently with his mouth to put him on his head. This way, all the babies could swim with him. I'm gonna cry. I'm not crying. It's fine. Oh, are we gonna bet that Sibao is, like, literally just disabled? I'm gonna kill myself! Oh, I can't wait. But now, Dabao, holding onto his tail, was unhappy. Sibao was getting preferential. Sibao was getting preferential treatment. He and his 2 brothers let go and swam to face Liu. Shouldn't he be happy that these children already knew how to be jealous? Oh, should he be happy that these children already knew how to be jealous? He was finally getting to experience the hardships of being a father. He wasn't setting a good example by treating them unequally, so Liu nudged all of them onto his head. My bad. The fish babies waved their tails excitedly, copying him. It seemed they were all happy now. Liu continued to teach them how to speak. Daddy, he demonstrated clearly. The fish babies stared at him, confused, not knowing what to do. Liu realized he was going about it the wrong way. He thought about it, grabbed a peach blossom pastry, and then ripped it into small pieces. Circling the pastry, he tried again. Daddy! Children who could say it Children who could say it for him got a treat. The sweet, fragrant pastry attracted the babies' attention. Dabao tilted his head a little and tried. Dad. Dabao was so smart. Leo wanted to clap for him. Who said fish were stupid? He rewarded Dabao with a piece of pastry. Dabao waved his tail happily and started eating in large bites. This is not going to go well. Erbao and Sambao were both envious of Dabao's snack, so they imitated Dabao. Da? Leo thought they weren't completely wrong. It was a good first attempt. He rewarded the two of them as well, to encourage them. The older brothers had all set a good example. Only Sibao was left. Leo nodded at Sibao gently. But Sibao looked dazed, as though he didn't understand. Leo wondered what was wrong when the fish baby began sinking. Leo rushed to catch Sibao, who seemed just as frightened as he was. Did he fall asleep? Leo was both irritated and amused. Who did this child take after? Daddy, Leo once again tried to teach Sibao, but Sibao still didn't know what to do. In response to his fish dad's instruction, he blew out 2 small bubbles. No, he had to teach him how to say daddy. I am so tired of saying this word. With Leo using the peach blossom pastry to tempt him, Sibao finally ended up just barely getting it right. Prince Jing came over to see his fish wife and sons. Leo was playing with the fish babies, leading them in a circle. Your Highness, our sons can say daddy now, he said excitedly. Prince Jing couldn't understand fish, so he just watched Leo swim around with a smile on his face. Leo wanted to try it again in front of his husband. He grabbed another piece of peach blossom pastry. That way he could tell the fish babies that this tall, handsome man was their daddy too. He took out the pastry, but before he'd had a chance to say anything, the fish babies were already yelling out, Dad! With Dabao in the lead. The 4 babies rushed happily toward the pastry. Uh-oh. Yeah. It seemed like the fish babies had misunderstood. There had originally only been 1 fish in Prince Jing's room. Now that there were 4 more little ones, people would definitely notice. So Prince Jing just told everyone that these were Xiao Yu's babies. That way, the fish babies didn't have to keep hiding. Prince Jing's fish was very large by now. There was nothing strange about him having children, so no one thought anything of it. Nobody even asked where the female fish was. Horses and dogs could be bred, after all. Why not fish? Wangji liked Master Xiao Yu a lot. Now, with the addition of these tiny fish, Wangji was so happy he couldn't stop grinning. Prince Jing asked Wangji to ensure their safety and told him this was now his top priority. Wangji understood immediately. Wang Gonglong had deduced the following. His Highness cared for Master Xiao Yu a lot, about the same amount as he cared for Li Gongxi. So the same could be said comparing these fish babies with Li Gongxi's potential sons, right? Not to mention if Li Gongxi really were to have sons, whose would it be? Yeah, he's right. He's on the right track. He knows everything that's going down. I think he doesn't know everything, but he knows the important parts. Wasn't this... I do that every time I start a paragraph. After I've taken a break or whatever. Wasn't the prince just subtly telling him that he had to treat these tiny fish as tiny masters? Wangji desperately wanted some little masters, so he carried out his orders to the letter. It's so cute. Back in the capital, at Changqing Palace, the emperor had been asking about the situation at the western border every few days, ever since Prince Jing arrived there. He also read all the reports coming from the western border several times each. There had been an assassination attempt as soon as Prince Jing arrived, and the emperor was worried for his safety. Following the news, he had sent over many guards and imperial physicians, and had secretly ordered the generals at the border to help Prince Jing if he was ever in danger. The emperor was worried he had made a big mistake. It was fine if Prince Jing wasn't up to the test, but what if he couldn't even make it back? The emperor spent several months living in suspense, but the physician hadn't even arrived yet when he received a second report from the western border, a battle report. In his first battle against the bandits, Prince Jing had come out victorious. The report carefully detailed the reasons Prince Jing had decided to initiate the battle, as well as his specific tactics. The emperor was first furious over the bandits' wild disregard for order, and then shocked by Prince Jing's cold-blooded decisiveness. The emperor had sent many experienced soldiers in the past, but they had never been able to win. Prince Jing had no experience with real battle, but he still had the guts to challenge the bandits. Not only that, he had won. After being so worried for so long, the emperor felt extreme joy. Prince Jing didn't disappoint him. He was capable of shouldering this heavy responsibility. Although the emperor was happy, he wasn't going to reward Prince Jing too lavishly, in case he started getting arrogant. Now you're... Ugh. I see. Okay. The emperor ordered head eunuch Lo to send a set of top-quality armor to the border, intending to continue watching to see what Prince Jing would do next. Privately, the emperor was very proud of his son and ordered the Ministry of War to analyze the detailed battle report. When they simulated the battle on a miniature battlefield, even the Minister of War praised Prince Jing for his military command. The emperor was extremely satisfied. Apart from this battle, Prince Jing had also mentioned a youth called Liu. Apparently, this youth had a wealth of knowledge and had helped out quite a lot. Prince Jing admitted that it was all thanks to this youth that he was able to win against the bandits. Prince Jing wanted to reward the youth for his contribution and was hoping the emperor would let him. The emperor was happy. It was such a small thing. Did Prince Jing really need to ask him? With a wave of his brush, the emperor allowed it. The capital was a long way from the western border, so it was incredibly difficult to communicate. It was half a month later when the emperor received Prince Jing's second and third message. I wonder what it could be. The emperor allowed Prince Jing to reward the youth, so in the next two messages, Prince Jing described exactly how he thought he might reward Liu. But at the end of each message, he concluded it still wasn't enough. The emperor could tell that Prince Jing wanted to keep discussing this, but he had ran out of patience. He felt like Prince Jing was being too careful. Since this Liu had made a great contribution, he told Prince Jing to consider things carefully and make the decision himself. A month later, the emperor received Prince Jing's fourth message. The message said that after some careful consideration, he decided to reward Liu with marriage and the title of consort. The end. The end of that chapter. The end of that. Oh my god. That's a great work, protagonist, real. Oh my god, I love them. Yep. That's a good place to stop, I think. That is where I am running out of steam as well, so yes, we will stop here today. I will just let you know that the next chapter is called Fishy Babies Changing Color. First of all, thank you. I will indeed. After playing like 5 hours of Love and Deep Space. But after that, I will rest, no doubt. I've been playing Love and Deep Space like non-stop these days. I have an issue. I have problems. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm having so much fun. Oh, I love them. I love this book. And I love Silas. But yeah, I will have my oh, don't freeze. I will have my schedule out for next week soon. In a bit, like on like Sunday or something. But yeah, expect a karaoke stream next week and possibly an art stream. Who knows? Who knows? Probably an art stream. We'll see. But yeah, how are we feeling? How are we feeling about them getting married? And they have their babies! I still can't get the image of the baby transparent fish with just their black beady eyeballs not being oh, they're so cute. Oh my god, fish are so cute. They're so like they're kind of creepy, but it's so cute. I can't take care of fish. I can't clean a tank. I'm not strong enough. Anyway, actually maybe I could. Honestly, I could probably take care of fish. You don't have to clean a tank by emptying it out and whatever. Should I get fish? Should I invest in fish? I love fish. I really do. And I wouldn't be able to take care of any other oh, you know what? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway. Oh, thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. Oh my god, these are so fun. So fun chapters. I love hearing about these baby fish. They're so sappy. And I need to get allergy pills. But yeah. I got pee. So I will leave you on that note. On the note that I have to pee. Think about that. No, yeah, what? How do I answer this? Oh my god, I don't even want to. I want to stay here. I'm thinking about fish. I can't stop thinking about fish. I need to draw them. I really do. They're so cute. They're so cute. I can't wait. I can't wait until they turn human. I want to see the babies. I want to see the babies. Oh man. Okay. Okay, I'll leave you. Goodbye. My brain's a bit loopy right now from all the tea and all the silliness. But yes. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I will see you next week. Probably on Monday. If not Monday, probably not on Wednesday. But definitely on Friday. We'll have another fishy reading. And then probably on Saturday for karaoke. I'll have to ask the people I live with when would be the best time. But yeah. Something like that. But yeah, I'll see you later. Stay safe. What are the things that I say at the end of a stream? Oh my god. Actually, can I rate someone? Wait, I haven't rated someone in so long. Actually, you know, I looked at my my rating, the amount of times I've rated people, and it was like so little this whole year. Wait, oh my god, okay. Wait, there's so many people live right now. Oh my god, Lexi is okay. I'm not doing that, but let's raid Jolly Rose. Oh my god, this is so fun. I haven't raided someone in so long, but this will be fun. Okay, guys, we're raiding Jolly Rose. They're doing an art stream. Yippee! Okay, do I know how to raid? I know how to raid. Say hi, be nice, be good, alright? Alright, I'll see you later, bye! Actually, I have to press start raid, right? Okay. Wait, I have to, it's the countdown. Okay, yeah. Alright. Right, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nope, there's minutes. Okay, you know what? You know what? Let's just go. I'll see you later, bye!